Welcome to Stretford, Paddock. This is the news. It's the 20th of January. We've got loads to talk about today. Nicky Butt's been chirping back. Him and Martinez going back and forth. All sorts. Also, the new manager hunt continues. A new name's been thrown in the ring all the way from Germany. We've got a couple of January transfer updates as well. But before all that, get in the comments. How are you doing? How's everyone doing today? I mean, I'll be honest. I've still got the warm glow. Do you know when you go back to a hot water bottle a couple hours later and you go, it's actually still warm. I thought it would have died down by now, but it hasn't. That's how I feel right now. It's a sensational week. And we've got all the way till Sunday as well. It's 4:30 on Sunday we play Arsenal. So we get to watch the early kickoffs on Saturday, twiddling our moustaches and laughing at how poor everyone is compared to the fantastic Manchester United. But yeah, there's loads to get into today. Good morning all, says M.A. Wood. Morning, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Let's get into our first story then. It's the continued back and forth between Manchester United legends Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes and Manchester United current centre-back Lisandro Martinez. And now we've just got to name calling at this stage. Nicky Butt has told Lisandro Martinez, how long we've been live for? Minute 26, to fucking grow up. Because if you swear in the first 30 seconds, YouTube don't like it. We've gone to the next level. So let's rehash this a little bit. Martinez and Scholes. Butt and Scholes before the derby were talking about how Haaland's going to literally pocket Lisandro Martinez, put him in his pocket, run down and throw him in the net. Then after the game, Martinez was asked about it. And he sort of said, you know, if you want to chat to me, come to my house. Come round. Wherever, I don't care. Now, I don't know if that's like say it to my face or whether that's like offering him a fight, sort of somewhere in that middle ground, isn't it? And then afterwards, Paul Scholes on social media. Someone's had a good game, was really happy for you. Someone's had a good game with a slight sort of hint of sarcasm there. And now Nicky Butt's come back. First and foremost, and let's read this. Let's get the full quote here because it is important to not just sort of stir this up. There is an element here of it is all, I think, a lot of this is in good humour, but it's not so good humour if we'd have lost to Man City, is it? So, first and foremost, he was brilliant on the day, fair play to him. He's gone out and gone man to man against probably the best centre-forward in the world, possibly. Him and Maguire, to be fair, were brilliant, so we could come on here now and say, brilliant, well done. But that's what is expected from a Man United player on Derby Day. Then the juicy stuff. For me, we're a podcast. We talk like three lads in a pub having a conversation. We're not doing a Sky Sports commentary on the game. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's quite obvious that Haaland is not going to pick him up and run with him. It's effing obvious. It's a figure of speech. I just think when someone gets so upset about someone in the media or on a podcast saying something about them, to come out and basically say they can say what they want and all that, effing grow up. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? It is a little bit of fun, this. And I do get what Nicky Butt's saying. It is some lads having a podcast, isn't it? But the problem is the way it leaves his mouth and the room that it's said in isn't the way it's then reported and presented to Lisandro Martinez. You know, there's this element of like, they're just having a laugh. But when Martinez is asked about it, and also, let's be honest, before that game had taken place, United weren't the favourites to win that. Recent form suggests that United probably weren't going to win that game. We've not been bad against the top teams, but we don't usually, win any game, let alone against one of the best teams in the league who's in a title race. So let's say we'd have lost that game, and then Martinez is asked about it. Then all of a sudden, it is a pretty difficult thing to deal with. And I know Martinez kind of was quite front foot with it anyway, sort of, basically meet me outside kind of vibes. But you can do a bit of that. You can have a bit of a laugh. Or you can sort of, this back and forth can continue as a bit of a joke when United have won and won so comfortably. But if Haaland had scored 2 goals and then Martinez asked about it, he just puts him in a situation where it's like, basically a journalist gets to say to Lisandro Martinez, you're shit, but it's not my words, it's the words of Manchester United legends Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt. It puts Martinez in a situation that I think is a very difficult one and one that's slightly unfair to ask of him, especially, like I said, had we lost that game, what do you want to say in response to that? Because we all know, and this isn't a journalist thing, this is just a human nature thing. As someone who's doing that job, who's asking the questions after the game, they want to put on what is the sort of the most sort of moment capturing question they can. So if it's negative, here's a negative question. If it's positive, can Michael Carrick win the league? That's been the headline on Sky Sports this morning. Whichever way it goes, the media completely ramp it up. And we do that to a certain extent as fans. That's what human nature is. So if we'd have lost that game, and now a journalist has got an excuse to basically call Lisandro Martinez crap to his face, but with the filter of Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes in front of him, that, I think, is a position that if I was a Man United legend, I would hope to not be able to give other people that sort of ammunition against a current player. That's the way I'd be thinking about it. And you can't, you're a former player, you're a former player, yeah, a lot longer than you are a current player. So I understand that in the 50 years you've got from retiring at 35 till the day you die, you have a lot more time to make a mistake or say something that's a bit too much than you do in the 10 years you've got as a player. I understand that occasionally you're going to say something, you go, maybe that was 5% stronger than I should have said. But I do think, let's think about it. Let's think who we're giving ammunition to, because it's not just a bit of a joke between them two, which is fine, who cares? It's a way for a journalist or for the press or for whoever to basically have a go at Lisandro Martinez without their name even being attached to it. And for me, I think that's worth considering if I'm Butt and Scholes. I'm on a horse with a super chat. I'm with Martinez on this. The ex-players all talk too much and there's never anything positive. Leach is well within his rights to bite back. As for Butt, he doesn't even make the 11 that beat City. He's having a pop now. See this, and this is what happens as well. We have to pick sides between United legends, who Paul Scholes is 100% a United legend. Nicky Butt is as well, obviously not to the same degree that Scholes is. Paul Scholes, I think for me, is... I didn't see Roy Keane in his absolute prime as much because I was too young. But Paul Scholes is the best midfielder I've ever seen in my life, let alone at Manchester United. So he is the ultimate, or one of the ultimate Man United legends. And you have to sort of go, whose side am I on here? I don't want to do that. I want to be on everyone's side. I want to like Martinez and Butt and Scholes. I don't want to get into all this. Frank says, Butt not a legend. I get why you might think that. For me, I think if you came through with those players, you played a substantial role in winning a treble for Man United, and it was a substantial role. It wasn't, Nicky Butt wasn't getting a couple of minutes here or there. He was playing regularly. For me, you're a Manchester United legend, but I get why you might not see that. He played 47 times in the 98-99 season, 42 times in the 99-2000 season, which was the record-breaking points tally, I think, in the Premier League at the time, and again 41 times in the 2000-2001 season. Yeah, from 1995 to 2002, he played at least 35 games in every single season in what was a unfathomably successful time at Manchester United, and at that moment, a unprecedentedly successful time. So yeah, for me, he's a club legend, Nicky Butt. But I get if you don't put him on the same sort of pedestal as a Giggs or Keane or Scholes. Let's move on to the next story then. And this one, what are we doing? What are we doing? Beckhams and that, they've all fallen out. Former Man United teammate of David Beckham has weighed in on the family feud. Who's this now? What even is this? Who's waded in? Look at the state of this. Producer Ben having an absolute field day here. What's going on? I lived with Beckham for a few years. John O'Kane. I lived with Beckham for a few years, and his wife never danced at my wedding. He liked to be in total control and was obsessive. Do we care? Brooklyn back. Right, here's my take on this Brooklyn David Beckham stuff. For anyone who hasn't seen it, they don't talk to each other at the minute. They've had a falling out. They don't like his wife. Fine. They'll be. I like to think they'll make up again in a few years' time. This is just like Nothing serious has happened here. Nothing terrible's happened. It's relatively innocuous family disagreements. Mum and dad don't like son's partner. Mum and dad don't like daughter's partner. It's classic stuff. It's nothing. Nothing big's happened. I mean, it sounds a bit like David and Victoria, a little bit controlling, a little bit maybe overly aware of the family kind of dynamic. Almost got that royal family thing where it's like, this is what we do, this is how we present ourselves to the media. But I also think, dancing too much at the wedding? I can't get out of bed for this, I'm afraid. Hopefully it'll all blow over in the next few years and we can come to some sort of resolution, folks? Yeah? Niko Kovac then. Dortmund's manager. Top clubs from England are interested in Niko Kovac. Now, this is a man who used to play football. He played for Bayern Munich, I remember him at, even though I can't remember him there because he only played there for 2 years, 22 years ago. But he was their manager for a season. He was also the Monaco manager, the Wolfsburg manager, and now the Borussia Dortmund manager. In the last 8 years, he has managed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clubs. So he's not doing a lot of sticking around. He's done pretty well at Dortmund. He's done pretty well everywhere he's been. He had a 69% win rate at Bayern Munich, but, you could put Grock in charge of Bayern Munich and get a 69% win rate. Did pretty well at Monaco, pretty terribly at Wolfsburg, 34% win rate, and now he's at Dortmund doing okay there. But again, where is he in the league? A distant second. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I know Dortmund have had times when they've been 6th, 7th, 8th. They've struggled to get Champions League football at all. They've definitely improved. They've only lost once all season, but they're 11 points behind a sort of record pace Bayern Munich, there's no shame in that. But it's not such a good job that for me, you jump to anywhere near the top of the Man United gig shortlist. And again, he did well at Bayern Munich, but I don't know. I don't think he was particularly loved there, was he? He had 2 seasons there, or was it 1 and a bit seasons? So we'll see. He may be on the list. What do people think of him? Someone who knows more than me about him and his style, let me know what we think. Giggity says it's a definite no from me. Morning everyone, says Jakoya Trot. Hello. If Carrick is deemed as unproven, then who the F is Kovac? I mean, he has managed some big teams. Well, certainly Bayern Munich's a big team, isn't it? But yeah, for me, I'm not too interested in him, to be honest. Yeah, why these pros disrespect their club? They're entitled. Inflated egos are getting old. Wow. He doesn't seem to fit the profile of Prem proven. No, 100% not. I think there's a lot of managers that would be as good or better than Kovac. And again, we have to consider, as we do with players, as we do with everything at Manchester United, the character, the personality, the stature of these people. And I'm not saying you have to get Ancelotti, otherwise we're going to fail. But I think you need someone that can handle the weight of Manchester United. And whether that be because they've got experience from within the club, like a Carrick, I don't think that you could rule out Michael Carrick, or whether that's because they've managed at other big clubs or they just have an innate stature to them. I don't think Kovac has that for me. And I don't think his record as a coach is so brilliant that it overcomes his lack of kind of Premier League experience and obvious sort of touchline demeanour. And when you've had a time at Bayern Munich that, again, wasn't a failure, but certainly isn't considered a great success at Bayern Munich, I don't think, you get too long a lead when you start losing games. People go, well, you couldn't handle it at Bayern, now he can't handle it here. He's a proven failure at this level. That would be my worry. We've got sort of our next story is kind of 2 competing January transfer stories. I say competing, there is a slight overlap of the Venn diagram, but we kind of got 2 different things here. So let's start with this Alex Crook story out of Talk Sport. So he said, in a sort of cryptic, barely journalism way, I've got the name of a couple of potential targets that I'm just working on double sourcing. I think if they bring anybody in, it will be a midfielder, probably more likely to be a loan deal. Now, this may be true, but we do have to question the threshold at which we even say things, don't we? Because obviously someone's told him something there, or he's saying that someone's told him something there. But if it's not good enough to say, then don't say it. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit, I don't know. It's like, are we ready to talk about this or not? So we all know that United are interested in a midfielder. We all know that if a midfield deal can happen, we'd be up for it. But I've got some names, but I'm not sure if it's true or not. Isn't enough for me. And again, he's not the one that's, aggregated this, put it on Twitter, retweeted it 29 times and liked it 450 times. So potentially it's not his fault. But if you're coming out and saying that, for me, I think that doesn't quite meet the threshold of announcing it yet. Get those sources sorted, tell us who United are after, and we can go from there. Because things change so much in transfers that if you're at like stage one of working out who it is, where it is this reliable, and you're announcing it then in this sort of cryptic something. I mean, we've already had this mystery midfielder thing. Wasn't that Alex Crook and Ben Jacobs in a kind of joint statement? That was 4 days ago. So either get it stood up and announce who it is, or stop. I'll say another one. United would be up for getting a fullback if they can. I can't say who it is, but they're up for it. It's nothing. Following on from that, not as a direct response, but just as a supplementary bit of info from Laurie Whitwell, this is kind of the other side of things. United not planning to make signings this window. Again, and this has been the line for a long time. However, if a long-term target becomes available or a rival makes a move for one, United would need to act, with Michael Carrick consulted for his views. I think that's what happened with Semenyo. Or it is what happened with Semenyo, I believe. And United thought it's now or never. If we don't go for him now, he's going to go to City. We went for him, still went to City. But that's sort of in line with this sort of thinking here. I don't have news, but I will try to find news and then I will tell you, says Gwis. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. United potentially in for a mystery midfielder. I've got no confirmation on who, but I will find out, says Martin. It is a little bit... We're pushing it, aren't we? With that. It is pushing it. It's one step away from just saying transfers and then just pooing yourself and running away. Let's move on to our next transfers. Poo myself, run away. Ugarte, Man United ready to use £42 million starting swap deal for incredible Sunderland player. Now, this is neither the £42 million star nor the incredible Sunderland player. Imagine we're trying to sign Granit Xhaka. I love the internet. Here we go. Come on. Not yet. There we go. Mamo Ugarte's fall from popularity under Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. When was he popular? Has made him an appealing January loan target. Ruben Amorim was willing to sanction the €42 million Uruguayan's departure, but the Portuguese will have preferred it to be a permanent move. And talk inside Old Trafford is that if United do allow Amorim's thought process and Amorim's thought process and look to offload Ugarte, he could be used as a swap bait to land incredible 20-year-old midfielder Noah Sadiki. Swap bait.
What is that?
The hell is that? Swap, spelled S-W-O-P, much to my amusement, is primarily a British variant of the spelling swap, S-W-A-P, meaning to exchange or trade one thing for another. I've never seen it spelled like that, but I'm only using that from now on. Swap is a variant. You can just write the word swap, like slop, but with a W. Swap. It makes so much sense, doesn't it, now you think about it? Noah Sadiki is a youngster that was signed from Belgian side Union Saint-Gilloise for $50 million in the summer and is attracting plenty of attention after the Black Cats' excellent start to the Premier League campaign. After promotion from the Championship, youngster is praised for his intensity and tactical awareness despite his age and lack of Premier League experience. He fits the bill for what United are seeking, and he'd cost a hell of a lot less than Brighton's $100 million rated Carlos Baleba. It's one to keep an eye out for. The problem is, who's the source on that, Ben? Give me sport. Give me strength, more like, as I like to say. So let's have that name in the back of our head. Noah Sadiki, put it back there, and then we can reactivate that. We can warm it up in the microwave when you Whitwells, when your Wheelers, etc. Bring it up. But for now, I'm going to put that in the freezer and I can microwave it later. Let's talk about another deal potentially for Manuel Ugarte, who's clearly a man that is on the you can have him if you really want him list. Ajax have made an inquiry over Manchester United midfielder Manuel Ugarte, but at this stage a deal is considered unlikely. The Dutch Giants want a new number 6 and have the Uruguay international on their list. They've been looking at a loan with no long-term decision expected this month due to Yuri Cruyff only starting as sporting director on February 1. But Manchester United have so far declined Ajax's proposal. Now, the thing about this that I want to talk about is the decline of first, ST, second, ND, third, RD. Everything is February 1, isn't it? January 28. It's Tuesday, 20 Jan today. What do we think of that? Is it because historically it would be a small ST up at the top, wouldn't it? And there's no way to accurately put that on a modern keyboard. I don't know. Is it just easier to read? But I remember when I was at school, it was Tuesday, the 20th of January. Now, they just put 20 Jan and I've done with it. Not sure what's going on there. It's an Americanism. I don't like it, Joe says, Red Baron. I don't like it either. Utter woke nonsense. February word. I don't like that soldier 4th class. One with an RD next to it. Final story. Bruno Fernandes becomes the first player to create 4 big chances against Pep Guardiola's side, Man City, in the Premier League. Now, if we can scroll out a second, zoom out, sorry, yeah, there we go, scroll down. Obviously, one is for the goal, the one with the star on it, star anise. The one that is the switch, I believe, from right to left. This, yeah, there you go, look at that. Is one of the best passes I've ever seen in my life. And you know, like, we're not, I was saying this the other day about that performance, we're not allowed to compare anything to sort of, everything has to be post-Fergie, because nothing can ever be as good as it was under Fergie. And I get that in grand terms it can't be. You cannot pass a ball better than that. He's not facing the wrong way, but he's facing forward and he wants to pass it over there. And he's strolling up to the ball with not a lot of pace in his run, so he hasn't got momentum from running to sort of strike it. And he hits across it as it's bouncing, first time, into an area across the whole defence and keeps the trajectory of the ball low so that the defenders don't get time to drop back and head it out. It skims basically across the top of the defence and lands at the feet of both Brian and Burmo and Patrick Dorgu for a shot at the back post. You simply cannot have a higher difficulty, higher execution pass than that. It is a perfect pass. We've had other passes as good as it. I actually don't think you can make a pass better than that. The way he hits it, the way he has to strike it, the way he has to turn his body 90 degrees as he's hitting it, to hit that first time across the whole box with that trajectory, the keeper can't come out. If he'd just if he hits that slightly wrong and it comes just slightly higher off his boot, the ball goes up in the air and either Donnarumma can come and claim it or the defender can drop back and put a good challenge in on a Burmo and Dorgu. If he overhits it, obviously it's out for a throw. And if he underhits it, it comes to the short on the penalty spot area and the defenders get it. The perfect weight, the perfect timing to hit it on the volley, first time. What are you even talking about? It is so absurdly difficult. It's one of the best. It's the best pass I've seen all season. And like I said, it's a 10 out of 10 pass. There are others as good, but I don't think I've ever seen a pass as good as that. It's absolutely sensational. Unbelievable. And it's lovely to be able to end this video reminiscing about fantastic moments from the weekend in what was a fantastic weekend. Talk of the Devil says Bruno only needs to win the Prem or UCL to be a legend. He's already a legend for me. He's already a club legend. It's not his fault the rest of the team isn't there with him. Sergio James John saying first time. Bruno is a legend. Bruno is not human. Human limitations do not apply to him. Abhinav Verma with the super chat said, Did you see the silver kick on Bruno in the box? VAR missed that completely. Honestly, it felt like VAR was trying to give City 3 points. I didn't see that, and I still haven't seen that. So I'm not sure about that one, but I'm going to take your word for it. It was a disgrace. We were robbed, and I think the game needs to be replayed, but we start at 5-0 because we get all those extra goals. That's going to be all from me. Ahmed Mascati. We'll see you in a bit.